Hi, Julian David here with Liquid Sonics. Today we're going to dive deep into an advanced mixing technique that can elevate your sound to the next level. We'll be talking about how to creatively use external sidechain ducking to control your reverb, which can be great for mixing and sound design. Before we get started, make sure that you've updated your Liquid Sonics plugins to the latest versions, or follow along with a free trial if you're discovering Liquid Sonics reverb plugins for the first time. In our first example, we're going to get creative right away. I'm using Seventh Heaven Pro with heavy external sidechain ducking on the reverb of a synth arpeggio. Here's a quick before and after. Okay, so let me break this down for you. Here's the synth arpeggio from my trusty Korg Minilogue, recorded in mono and without any reverb. Next, I route the synth to an instance of Liquid Sonics' beautiful Seventh Heaven Pro reverb via Ascend in the mixer. It's a fairly long plate from the brighter and more modern sounding Plates 2 preset bank. I'll fade it in for you with the ducking disabled for the moment. I'm going to run the reverb return at a level that seems completely over the top at first, but bear with me until we have set up the ducking. Typically, we would use our kick drum track as the source for the ever-popular sidechain compression, but here I've created a dedicated track with a pre-fade send just for the reverb ducking. What's cool about this is that I can use the track exclusively for the sidechain, giving us the flexibility to shape the rhythm exactly how we want it. I just place the trigger kick drum samples wherever they work best to create a unique rhythmic pattern. I could also automate the send of the sidechain signal if I feel like the ducking is clamping down too hard in a particular spot of the pattern or song. Depending on your DAW of choice, you might want to revisit how to set up sidechains or key triggers. In Pro Tools, I just need to select my reverb sidechain bus as the key input in the plugin and engage the ducker in Seventh Heaven. We can then access the sidechain trigger from the drop-down menu next to the gain reduction meter. Since I'm looking for a dramatic pumping behavior of the ducker, I'm going for a 10:1 ratio and a fast release time. Let's bring down the threshold and get this going. The release parameter is most important for the rhythm of the reverb ducking, but take time to also adjust the attack until you have it set to something you like. This one is tucked away in the drop-down menu to the right. Let's listen to the entire track to get the full picture. Now, of course, there are other ways to set up sidechain ducking or compression in your DAW, but the flexibility that the built-in ducking gives us is powerful and opens up unique sonic results. The twist is that I can apply the ducking to either the entire wet mix or the late reverb only. What I like about this second option is that the early reflections from Seventh Heaven Pro that make the synth nice and wide remain untouched. On the other hand, ducking the wet mix gives us an even more dramatic outcome. Have a listen and decide which one you like best. This technique is fantastic for genres like EDM, trap, or future pop, really any style where rhythmic pumping effects are desired. Now let's explore a more traditional but equally powerful application of external sidechain ducking. In this example, I have a long, dense reverb patch from Cinematic Room's Professional on synths and slide guitar in a pop mix. It's beautiful, but as reverb takes up precious real estate in the mix, it can interfere with the lead vocals a bit, especially in the 1 to 3 kHz region that is so important for intelligibility. I'll play a section of the track to give you an idea. Take note of the red overlays in the analyzer for the reverb that shows us frequency buildup reference to the lead vocals.
Of time, and I'm a million miles away, a million miles.
Cinematic Room's wonderfully rich reverb is essential for creating depth in this mix. But let's try a bit of reverb ducking to create more space for the vocals by backing off the synth and guitar reverb when the vocal is present, improving intelligibility of the performance. While I'm looking for a reasonably subtle dynamics control in the end, I'm going to exaggerate my adjustments at first so we can all hear it well. I already have the sidechain send from my vocal track set up as a key to Cinematic Room's Professional in my Pro Tools session. So all I need to do is to select the reverb ducker with external sidechain in the drop-down menu of the dynamics section. Have a listen to what that does as I bring down the threshold.
And now I'm a million miles from yesterday. Anything could happen now. I'm a million miles from yesterday. 'Cause when I fall into your arms, I lose track of time. And I'm a million miles away. A million miles. A million miles. Hey, yeah. Hey, yeah.
Once again, I'm only ducking the late reverb to maintain how the early reflections give depth and width to those synth and guitar parts. In this case, the attack and release parameters control how the reverb responds when the vocals kick in and how quickly it floods back during the breaks. Let's make sure these are where they need to be for a musical result.
And now I'm a million miles from yesterday. Anything could happen now. I'm a million miles from yesterday. 'Cause when I fall into your arms, I lose track of time. And I'm a million miles away. A million miles.
This works rather well. I'm now going to bring the full mix back and adjust these controls until I get a result that is less obvious but gives us that little extra clarity.
And now I'm a million miles from yesterday. Anything could happen now. I'm a million miles from yesterday. 'Cause when I fall into your arms, I lose track of time. And I'm a million miles away. A million miles.
Whether you want to add rhythmic excitement or free up space for vital elements like lead vocals in a busy mix, using an external sidechain with reverb dynamics offers great sonic potential. If you'd like to explore these reverb plugins and more, head over to liquidsonics.com. You'll find a range of incredible reverbs that go beyond what most plugins have to offer. Subscribe to our email list and social channels to be among the first to know when we upload a new video and to learn more. Thanks for watching and happy mixing.